What's going on, everybody? It is Midwest Reefer, and today has been a long day. I got a new toy or new item in the mail, and I've been spending way more time on it tonight than I thought I was going to. Now, I'm going to talk about a topic that I think a lot of new reefers question, and that's going to be flow. Um, I've been kind of having some issues with flow over the last week of setting up my tank, and I've tried different remedies, and I think I might have found a solution and actually understand how some of the other reefers that I see on YouTube are doing it in their tank. I think I finally get it. Now, I could be off, and you guys can let me know in the comments, but I think I finally get it now. Like I said, you can have all the knowledge in the world, and I'll restate that again, but it doesn't mean anything without experience. So with that being said, let's talk about flow, what setup I got now, what I had before, and kind of why I was having an issue with it. So as you can see right here, I have a Fluval CP1. Now, the Fluval CP1 is 265 gallons an hour, and then the standard or the stock return pump that's provided by Fluval for this tank is 132 gallons per hour. Okay, so that's about 394, 395, I believe, gallons an hour of flow. Now, some people say you want 10 times, 20 times, 30 times the flow, and really, who knows? It's going to vary between reefer to reefer and with the different tanks. So the issue that I was having is this Fluval setup, the only way I could really get it to perform is having it blown directly at the rocks. Now, right now, it looks like it's at the rocks. It's actually blowing partially on the rocks and partially behind there. But the issue is that it would blow straight across here, bounce off the glass, and then just hammer these corals, just blow them over. And I would adjust it, and if I adjusted it one way, it didn't matter. As long as it was on this back wall pointing somewhere towards this way, it was blowing those corals over, unless I pointed at the rock. So I rocked it for about 4 or 5 days, just pretty much pointing at the rock, and I started growing, diatom started coming back. And I started getting algae on my glass, which I wasn't when I had it pointing out, but then my corals were getting hammered. So I said, you know what, this pump is 265 gallons an hour. I can't adjust it that well. Pretty much up and down is all I can adjust it. I can try to turn the suction cup sideways, but that suction cup kind of sucks. As you can see, it's off of there right now, and I'll have to fix that. So that was the issue I was having with that. So, it was like, damned if I do, damned if I don't. And I was beating my head. I was like, how do these people have this flow in their tank and the corals aren't getting hammered and everything's looking good? A lot of YouTubers that I see on here and a lot of reefers that I see on here had multiple PowerHeads in here. I'm like, wow, how do they have that much flow in their tank and it's not destroying everything? And here's where the experience part comes in. What I was doing is I have the return pumps pushing this way, one up at the top to agitate the water, one kind of midway in the water, and then it had the Fluval CP1 facing that way. And what it's doing is just all hammering in this way, and like I said, just ricocheting back in that way, and it's just pretty much making a circle. And if you're in different parts of the ocean and stuff, you have your currents and everything like that, but a lot of it is the waves going back and forth and the water kind of getting mixed up all different types of ways. So finally, after racking my head, I bought this Hydor pump. Now, this Hydor pump pumps out 180 gallons an hour. I think it's their smallest or second from smallest pump that they make. But the benefit of this Hydor was that it has a magnetic suction cup mount, so way more sturdier, way easier to mount. It had adjustable flow rate, unlike the Fluval, which is ridiculous that they don't have that on there. I think for a small pump like this, knowing that they're going to probably use it in smaller tanks, they should definitely have adjustable flow rate on there. At this moment, he knew he had fucked up. As I'm back. So like I was saying, I think it is ridiculous that for Fluval, for their CP1 and even their CP2, those are normally recommended for smaller tanks. They should definitely have an adjustable flow rate on there, I believe, but maybe I'm just talking out my ass. Also, the adjustability on the Fluval CP1, it's not the best. It's up and down, and the clip that kind of holds the pump on there, that little clip thing right there, it falls off pretty easy with kind of pressure. So I think the design could be a little bit better. This Hydor, however, has a magnetic suction cup option on it, as you can see, and it also has it's pivotal, it pivots and swivels, and it's just really easy to adjust and kind of dial in how you want. And honestly, it's about the same price, if not a little cheaper than the Fluval is. It's actually about, I'd say $8 to $9 cheaper than the Fluval. Now obviously it's less flow, but overall build quality on these high doors, I think it's just a lot better. And maybe nobody's arguing at that point. Maybe I just didn't know any better and thought Fluval had some good power heads. And the power head's not bad, it works and it's quiet, they're both quiet. It's just lacking in the adjustability. So what I did is I bought the high door, which is 180 gallons an hour, thinking that I would just run that and get rid of the Fluval. I said the Fluval is too strong for this tank along with the return pump, and it's just beating my corals up. Well, I had the high door running for a little bit and realized, it doesn't look like enough flows in there at all now. 180 gallons now, that doesn't seem like enough flow. And I was like, I think I want more flow in order to keep the detritus and the algae and stuff from growing and populating. But I was like, it's beating my corals up. So I kept going back and forth, and I was watching some YouTubers. Like I said, I was checking out Nano Joe, checking out some of the other YouTubers that I've met while being on here. And I was like, you know what? I had everything facing the same way. So as you can see, I have the high door sitting under the Fluval, and it's coming at the glass this way, which is coming directly at us, and then also ricocheting this way, where the Fluval is pointing down towards that back glass, and it's coming this way and also ricocheting that way. That has given me cross flow. That has given my corals way more of a chance to kind of chill out and not get beat up by the current. And also it's stirring up stuff so much more. I'm hoping here in a few days I'm gonna check and see how the algae is doing. Now it's not really bad on my tank. It's not even seeable. I just took my nail flipper scrubber, got it off real quick, turkey based the rocks, and it's pretty clean up, but I've seen it building up. So I'm hoping by adding flow and changing up how the current is directed, that's how you're able to get ideal flow for this tank, and able to kind of customize it. So if anybody else has had experience with this, whether not knowing how to direct flow in your tank, or you have some ideas for me, I'm definitely open. You can leave them down in the comments. But yeah, this is my first step, and my first lesson learned as a new reefer is flow. Definitely more flow is better if you can control it. I think that's definitely better. It's just going to be more beneficial for the tank and the inhabitants in it. But if you have any other questions, suggestions, leave them down in the comments below. And thanks for checking out my video. And I'll see you guys in the next one.
Well, you can tell everybody. Yeah, you can tell everybody. Go ahead and tell everybody. I'm the man, I'm the man.